For nearly a decade, I thought I was cursed with the wrong phone number. Constant debt collectors, endless bank calls, all asking for a man I didn't even know. But when I finally discovered who he was, my jaw dropped. Because it wasn't just some random stranger. It was my boss. The same boss who had spent years making my life hell. And that's when I knew it was time for payback. If you've ever dreamed of serving justice to someone who wronged you, smash that like button and subscribe. Because today, you're about to hear one of the most insane, most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever come across. Back in 2004, mobile phones were just starting to become common where I lived. I was fresh out of high school when my parents handed me my very first phone. It wasn't anything fancy, a bulky second-hand Nokia. But to me, it was freedom. I promised myself one day I'd save up for something better. When college started, I had to commute 2 hours every single day. Between classes and travel, life was exhausting. But there was one bright side. Because I had done so well in high school, I started receiving awards and scholarships. One of them was from a nationalized bank, and for the first time, I had enough money to buy myself a new phone. I remember walking into that store, my heart racing. I bought a Sony Ericsson K300i, sleek, shiny, and modern. Along with it, I got a premium SIM card. I thought I had made it. My first real adult purchase. But within 3 days, the nightmare began. The phone rang. An unknown number. On the other end, a stern voice. "Hello, can I speak to Mr. Bitsa? This is regarding his unpaid loan." I froze. Sorry, wrong number. But it wasn't just one call. It became 2, then 5, then 10. Every single day. Bank representatives. Loan recovery agents. People demanding money. Threatening legal action. All for a man named Bitsa. And that's when I realized the number I had bought wasn't clean. It had a history. And I was the unlucky one stuck with it. Back then, blocking numbers wasn't as simple as it is today. Each time I upgraded my phone, the block list reset. So I carried a little notebook, where I'd write down every harassing number just to block them again later. It became a ritual. Wake up, check missed calls, add to the list. Day in, day out. It was annoying, but I was determined not to give up my premium number. After all, I had worked hard for it. I just didn't know that this cursed number was about to come back into my life in ways I could never have imagined. Fast forward a few years. By 2009, I had graduated and landed my first job. Excited, nervous, eager to prove myself. But in 2010, I was assigned to a new project, and that's when I met Bits. From the moment I stepped into his team, I knew something was wrong. Bits wasn't a normal manager. He was a tyrant. He ruled through fear. Picture this. You arrive at the office at 9 a.m., still half asleep, coffee in hand, only to find 15 emails from him already waiting. Each one marked urgent. Each one contradicting the last. Deadlines. They weren't real. They were moving targets, shifting whenever he felt like it. Lunch breaks. Forget it. Bits scheduled meetings during them. He scheduled meetings after hours too, sometimes even on weekends. He micromanaged every single detail, yet swooped in to take credit the second anything went right. And if it went wrong, he exploded, publicly shaming his team, shouting in meetings, throwing blame like confetti. I can still remember the sick feeling in my stomach whenever his name popped up in my inbox. My hands would shake before opening his emails. That's how bad it was. The man thrived on control. And he loved making us miserable. I was ashamed when I learned he was from the same region as me. Same hometown. Even the same school, just years ahead. It felt like an extra slap in the face. At the time, he was just Bits. A nightmare boss I couldn't escape. But I had no idea that behind that name was a connection that would change everything. In 2012, our company merged with its parent organization. On paper, nothing much changed. Same people, same teams. But infrastructure-wise, everything shifted. We got upgraded to Microsoft Outlook. Along with it came an organization chart. For the first time, I could see full names, job titles, reporting structures. That's when I saw it. My boss's full name. Bitsa. My jaw literally dropped. My mind went blank. Could it really be? The man who had tormented me at work was the same man whose debt collectors had been tormenting me at home for nearly a decade? I wasn't sure. But the pieces fit. The area-specific phone number. The uncommon name. The timeline. I reached out to an old mentor from my town, someone who had been coaching students for decades. Carefully, I asked him about the name. He didn't hesitate. Oh, Bitsa. Yeah, I know him. Bit of a troublemaker back in the day. That was it. Confirmation. The man who had haunted my phone was the same man haunting my career. And in that moment, something inside me snapped. 4 years I had endured. The calls. The harassment. The fear. But now, I had power. I pulled out my old block list, 150 numbers strong. And one by one, I unblocked them all. Within a day, my phone exploded with calls. 15, sometimes 18 in a single day. But this time, I didn't brush them off. I didn't say, wrong number. I leaned in. Ah, you're looking for Mr. Bitsa? Yes, this number no longer belongs to him. Let me help you out. Here's his current number. And then, with a smile on my face, I gave them his real number. Sometimes, for good measure, I also handed out his manager's number. Just in case. The debt collectors lit up like sharks smelling blood. Turns out, they had been chasing him for years. He wasn't just behind on a few bills. No, he had built a house of lies. Loans under his wife's name. His parents. His aunts, his uncles. Even distant relatives. He'd racked up over $200,000 in debt. And now, suddenly, the wolves knew exactly where to find him. The next few weeks were chaos. I don't know exactly what happened behind closed doors, but the office was buzzing. Whispers in the hallways. Nervous looks. Phone calls that made Bits turn pale. One version of the story says his manager was furious, constantly fielding calls meant for Bits. Another says debt collectors even showed up at the office. What I do know is this: within 2 months, Bits was gone. Fired. No farewell party. No sympathy. Just gone. The man who had built his entire career on controlling others had lost the one thing he couldn't manipulate, his past catching up to him. And I felt lighter than I had in years. It's hard to explain the rush of justice. For so long, I had felt powerless. First to those endless debt calls, then to his tyranny at work. But watching karma finally land, watching him drown in the mess he had created, it was pure relief. Sweet, sweet satisfaction. Life has a funny way of connecting the dots. For nearly 10 years, I thought I was cursed with a phone number. That I was the unlucky one stuck cleaning up someone else's mess. But in reality, the number wasn't a curse. It was a slow-burning fuse. One that would eventually lead to justice. Karma might take its time, but trust me, it always arrives. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and subscribe for more true stories of karma and revenge. And let me know in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? I'll be reading your replies.